Welcome back to the channel where I'm going to give you my recommendations for new streaming movies on the streaming platforms, and then you stay tuned and see if I can justify my recommendations. Today, I'm going to go ahead and actually take a look at The Electric State on Netflix. Now, this is a sci fi action adventure movie. And if you are the core target audience for this type of film, meaning that you are a sci fi junkie, or you are about that action adventure, or you might be a Chris Pratt or Millie Bobby Brown fan, the recommendation for this is a background movie. Yeah, that's right. And if you're a casual viewer, you're not really into either of those actors or actresses, or you're not a sci fi action adventure fan, unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you to skip it. Now, stay tuned and I'll go ahead and actually tell you why I gave it those recommendations.
Get ready.
You ready for what now?
The Electric State is a action sci-fi adventure that premiered on Netflix in March of 2025. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 8 minutes, and it stars Chris Pratt as Keats, Millie Bobby Brown as Michelle, and Ki Hoi Kwan as Dr. Amherst. There's some notables on here, plenty of notables, like Giancarlo Esposito, you would think I get that right? As Marshall Bradbury, Woody Harrelson as the voice of Mr. Peanut, Stanley Tucci as Ethan Skate, and Holly Hunter as Madeline Vance. So you got a lot of notable character actors in here. IMDb has a story like this. An orphan teen hits the road with a mysterious robot to find her long-lost brother, teaming up with a smuggler and his wisecracking sidekick. Simple plot, nothing too crazy or anything like that. Now, this is a loose adaptation of a novel by Simon Stellenberg, and it's another attempt by Netflix to throw money at a story, bring in big names, hire notable directors, and you go ahead and actually you give them a bunch of money to go ahead and actually do high production or what have you. And, there's a movie that's made. But the more that I watch these Netflix movies, the more I kind of question what drives a good movie nowadays. Like, this is a sci-fi movie. So it's in a reimagined world of ours, right? Because it's always, something that is dreamed or imagined or what have you, but not too far out of the realm of possibility, depending upon our current level of technology, understanding, intelligence, all that kind of good stuff. This one, there's like a robot, there's a lot of robots, there's a big bad guy, there's a big budget that goes along with this to go ahead and actually give you good special effects and all that kind of stuff. And for me, because I love the genre, whether it is horror sci-fi, whether it is adventure sci-fi, whether it's comedy sci-fi, whether it is psychological, a dystopian sci-fi or anything, I'm going to love the genre until it dies. So I'm always going to be the target audience for this. But Netflix, man, y'all gotta do something more here. But since I am the target audience for this, I go ahead and actually let you know that up front, so you kind of know my perspective on giving you my review, because I watch the brand new streaming content and let you know what my perspective is, so you can take that into account when you go ahead and actually hear my recommendations. If you like how that sounds, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe, and now let me justify it for you. So after watching this movie all the way through, some of the notables that's trying to hit, like it's a general sci-fi type of film. Some of the ones that it kind of really like it's very much in the realm of like Ready Player One. That's a big influence on here. You could also see things like Matrix, The Creator, that was on about a year or so ago, Ex Machina. Any of those, you could go ahead and actually formulate. You can see inspiration from any of those works, and you can see them in this particular film on there. So those are some of the works that you could compare and kind of get a vibe with this. For the storytelling in this particular film, I'm going to go and actually give it as a D plus. This movie settles on painting by the numbers as a sci-fi flick. It never feels particularly funny or tense or witty or insightful or telling some new narrative or anything like that. There's nothing there for you to go ahead and actually really identify this movie with that makes it memorable for you. The pacing is fine. It's okay. The backstory of the main character, Michelle, is kind of rushed, and it doesn't give you the emotional depth that I think they wanted to go ahead and actually hit. in that, and as a result, that kind of falls flat. So the character development, you're already just kind of like about the character. If you think about the robot storyline for more than a minute, the story kind of falls apart. So you have to really suspend your disbelief to carry into this story. The premise of what happened to Michelle's brother, I think it's just not a good way it goes, and actually of when you explain it on the total level, just doesn't make any sense or what have you. So that kind of fell flat for me. Chris Pratt is just being Chris Pratt throughout this movie because that's really all that the movie demands of him as far as the scripting and all that kind of stuff. So it's like whatever. In the storytelling for a sci-fi movie, you kind of hope for either like a solid premise, or an intriguing beginning, or entertaining middle, or an inspiring or cautious ending. Because any of those kind of at least set you up with like, oh my god, you set up for a great beginning, and if the movie falls flat, you're like, well, I can see where it kind of went. Or entertaining middle, where there's a bunch of stuff going on, some fights or some battles or some discoveries or whatever, things like that. And if the other ones fall apart, like okay. Or at the very end, at least it sticks to landing. You kind of feel it at the end of it or what have you. And this one, you get none of that, honestly. The grade for this is largely because with such a budget, with the names, with the directors, there should have been way more entertainment value here. Storytelling it was so boring. Like I'm expecting more to be entertained here in order to go ahead and actually watch a sci-fi film, and I just didn't get that. So for me, it just fell flat and it earns its grade of D plus. For acting, I'll go and actually give it like a C. Um, you know, primarily because the only two people that I liked in this whole thing was Stanley Tucci as the bad guy. He always brings it, and no matter what role he is, whether it's an absurd role, whether it's high level acting, whether it's over the top character or anything. Like I like his acting all the way through. I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad role, and he hardly ever is the main guy. He's always like a side character, supporting character, but he brings
You
it every time.
famously never owned robots, did you?
I never trusted them. They're not us. How would they possibly understand our best interest?
Every time. And then the other one is actually, oddly enough, voice on there, and that's Anthony Mackie as the voice of Herman, of Chris Pratt's robot buddy. And that one, he brought a smile to my face. He was cracking me up a little bit.
Who throws a fridge?
That one, because of those two actors bringing a little bit of entertainment value, it elevated everything else. The other actors in this film, for the most part, they've done other roles better in other movies, and so it was a very pedestrian effort by them. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either. So I'm just going to go and actually say it's average for them and just give it a C. Overall, run-of-the-mill sci-fi. It could have been like one of those quaint types of deals if it was like such a known cast, because maybe they would have brought something different to the roles or what have you. But with them, like the other ones, it just seemed like they were kind of sleepwalking through it, like they didn't really believe in it. Or it may have been a better story or more interesting if they had kind of flushed out the robot story more and kind of, pushed the like human stuff in the background or whatever. Maybe that would have been something a little bit more. Or maybe just the book is better. Maybe it just doesn't adapt well to the screen. Not entirely sure, but this made me go ahead and actually really feel every minute of the 2 hours and 8 minutes of runtime. Like I actually a couple times I was like, man, when is this going to be over? And that's bad for a sci-fi movie. Usually I'm pretty engrossed, entertained in some kind of way, shape, or form. And this was just not that, unfortunately. Not a horrible movie, but just run of the mill. And for that type of budget, nah, we need more than that. So again, for core audiences, gonna go ahead and actually put on some background movies, something that you might want to throw on in the background or watch on a lazy Saturday while you're cleaning up or you're doing some yard work or something like that, and you can kind of check it out for like quips here and there and all that kind of stuff, and then be fine for that. For you casual audiences, go ahead and actually check one out those other inspiration ones, whether you're talking about Ready Player One, has a little bit more entertainment value to it. Matrix is an excellent movie. Ex Machina is very heady, makes you think about some things out there, and I just think that those are going to be better movies for you in this sci-fi genre. But that's what I have for Electric State, now showing on Netflix. Go ahead and check it out. You stay for this entire review. I appreciate you. I really do. If you like anything I've said, go and actually give me a like. If you have any criticisms or anything like that, you can go and actually comment below. I'm cool with it. But subscribe, and if you're not convinced, go and subscribe to the channel. Go and actually watch one of these other movies that the algorithm seems to think that you might like of mine. But until next time, I'll holla at you. Take care of yourself.
Now that's a happy ending. Or is it? Because everything's over now, and all that's left is you and the infinite void.